Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm hopefully going to be diagnosing and fixing some of the problems with my STI transmission swap. So pretty much since I've done the swap, I've had issues with shifting the car. I originally thought maybe I needed to bleed my clutch more, and I did. I bled my clutch a little bit more, just double checked everything. Everything was fine. And I mostly had a fourth gear grind, which for those of you who don't know, that's a pretty common thing on the STIs is to have a fourth gear grind. So I was going to do the transmission cocktail, which is basically 2 to 3 quarts of Redline lightweight shockproof oil, and then 1 to 2 quarts of Motul Gear 300. And that's supposed to help with the fourth gear grind. But my problem seems to be a little bit different. I know my synchros aren't bad because I can put the car, with the car running, I can put the car in gear, pull it back into fourth gear, and it'll start to try and engage the gear. There's no grinding, there's no noise. And all gears feel perfectly fine. So when I'm driving around through town and I'm just kind of driving normally, you know, granny shifting, just kind of cruising through the gears, it's usually okay. And then if I try to shift hard, it grinds fourth every single time. So I was like, out of curiosity, I swapped out my Group N transmission mount and I put in the factory mount. And it was actually harder to get the car in gear. And when I was installing my transmission carrier under the car to reinstall the mount, I noticed it did not line up properly. I didn't notice this when I did my swap, but it's been an issue ever since. And I'm wondering if maybe one of my motor mounts is off a little bit. I know the motor mounts are slotted and the pitch mount, the pitch stop is slotted. So all three of those are slotted and I could maybe have it kind of angled a little bit, and that's why I'm having trouble shifting the car. And so today what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to pull the car in. I got to change my oil today anyway, so I'm going to pull my car in, do my oil change, and then I'm going to drop the transmission carrier out of the car. I'm going to loosen up all of my motor mounts, and then I'm going to attempt to shift everything a little bit and retighten everything back down and see if that fixes it. It's freaking hot today. Do you guys remember this stuff? You guys ever have this Mountain Dew Typhoon? This was out like 10 years ago. And then Mountain Dew announced that they were bringing it back out for a limited time, and it's only available on their website. And a 6-pack of these 16-ounce cans is $12 plus shipping. Freaking ridiculous. But it's very nostalgic though. It was my favorite soda from like 10 years ago, so it's really cool. So I'm gonna jack this thing up, start working on it. Hopefully we can figure this out because it's freaking hot. I just want to get this done and get it figured out so I can enjoy driving my car again. Okay, so as far as I remember when I did this swap, and anytime I mess with my pitch stop, it's slotted. And it's not slotted a whole lot, but you can see right there, it has room to move. Right now it's pretty much the whole way forward. So I'm gonna loosen up that bolt to allow that to slide a little bit. Then I'm gonna crawl underneath and I'm gonna loosen up both of my engine mounts. You can see that those are slotted as well. There's not a whole lot of room to travel in there, but you can still see that that is definitely slotted and it can be moved. I'm going to drop this whole subframe assembly down underneath the transmission, and then hopefully we can kind of shift everything around a little bit. Maybe what I'll do is I'll loosen up all the bolts to the transmission mount, and then maybe I'll get in the car and just put it in gear and kind of get everything to shift a little bit, and then it'll be kind of sketchy, but if it shifts a little bit, maybe it'll settle to where it needs to be. All right, so I got this thing. All the mounts are loose. I'm gonna just get in it, put it in first gear, kind of slowly let off the clutch, see if I can get anything to shift around a little bit, and then we'll tighten everything back up, see if it helped.
I mean, it was the motor had some movement just from what you were doing, but no, it wasn't like any significant settle into place or anything that happened.
Yeah, the pitch stop is still where it was. It still felt solid, like nothing felt out of place. I don't know, guys, we might be onto something here. I reinstalled the transmission mount. It was a lot more difficult to get it installed and get all the bolts in than it typically is, probably because all the mounts are loose and there was a little bit more weight pushing down on it. And so I lifted it up, got it installed, and now that everything's tightened back up in the transmission, I have something interesting to show you. It was completely tight up against, and now you can see that it has gone back towards the middle. So we have gotten some movement here, and now we have the transmission bolted in. In theory, if the engine was pushed back just a little too far, it could make it a little bit more difficult to shift. And so with this being towards the middle, it seems like the engine got pushed forward a little bit, which could potentially be a step in the right direction. So hopefully this fixes things. I'm just going to tighten down all the mounts now and see what happens. All right, guys, moment of truth. I'm going to fire up the car. I really want this to work. I guess we're gonna see here what this does. I'm gonna let the car get up to temperature, and then I'm just gonna send it. I'm just gonna try and smash the car into fourth, and I'll record it, and if it does the thing again, you guys will be able to see what it's doing, and if it doesn't do it, well then that's good. We fixed it. So we're in third right now. We're just gonna do it, see what happens. Okay, seems like that was okay. I'll have to try that again from like a more aggressive pull. Maybe I'll have to try it again from like a second into third into fourth gear pull. I'm gonna pull out in first, casually shift into second, and then kind of speed up from there. I'm in second. Okay, it was definitely still more difficult to get it into fourth than it was to get it into third. But that one felt, it went in. I mean, it went in, it didn't grind. But I gotta be honest with you, the overall feeling of the shifter is better. Like, first, second, third gear feels so much better than it did before. So even if this didn't fix fourth gear, I think it definitely did something. There was definitely something strange going on. I think we fixed it, guys. All right, guys, this is probably the 30th time I've done this now. I feel bad for the car today, but I'm gonna ride this thing out. Just watch. Straight into fourth, baby! Straight into fourth! Yes! I gotta give a big shout out to my friend Derek that I work with. Me and him were kind of tossing, hold on, let me put the windows back up. Me and him were kind of tossing ideas back and forth, and I told him kind of what was going on, and he said maybe about, he suggested maybe my motor mounts should be replaced to help with, you know, some of the twisting motion, and we just got to spitballing ideas back and forth, and he kind of helped me come up with this idea, you know, and so I did drive the car around for a little bit now. It's been probably 3 hours since I left work. I drove home, got some dinner, got back out in the car, and I've been driving for probably about an hour now, literally just rowing through gears, like downshifting, upshifting, downshifting, upshifting, and I feel bad for the car because thank God I just changed my oil, because I've been really cranking through gears just left and right trying to make sure that it's fixed, because I don't want to go through all this and then be like, oh, okay, then the next time like I go to the track or anything like that, I get stuck, I get locked out of fourth gear. I'm so happy that this thing is finally, I don't want to say it, it feels good, everything seems okay, but I can shut the camera off and then it just start feeling like shit again. So I really don't know. I'm hoping it's good to go. Either way, as I said, I'm probably gonna do the transmission cocktail with the Motul and the Redline shockproof, and then hopefully I'll get the DCCD soon and we can just get this transmission figured out so we can move on to other things. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I really appreciate you watching. If you're new here, please subscribe. Leave me some feedback. I'll see you guys in the next video.